Namaste and welcome to my channel. I'm the Misfit Mystic. Today's video is a juicy one about the Matrix. Are we living in a simulated reality? If you ask me, I would say so. I'd say it's very, very possible. At least, I'm not, I don't have any definitive proof, but I'm going to give you guys today my 6 reasons why I believe we are living in a simulated Matrix, and also 3 steps to kind of disassociate yourself from that and to expose yourself to the more that we are. So today's video comes requested from one of my subscribers. He's also a YouTuber named Zach in Japan. He's awesome. He's been very helpful to me and many others. So he does funny videos and also shows you around Japan. Put a link in the description box below for his channel if you guys want to show him some love and support. That'd be awesome because he does so much for so many. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I thank you guys so much for all your support and interaction with me. It has really just opened up my heart and made me feel at home on this planet, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, remember the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones. Well, and words, but words will never hurt me. Not true. There's a Japanese scientist named Masaru Emoto, and he did a study on water, and the results are pretty fascinating. So, we're made up of, I think I've heard anywhere from 72 to 80% water, something like a lot of water, mostly water. And so he did these experiments where first he just flash froze it or cryogenically froze water after he spoke to it or played different frequencies of music. Like he spoke happy thoughts and played happy music for certain waters, and then he played angry music and spoke angry words to the other water. And the crystals that were formed after it froze is like out of this world crazy. I mean, like the ones that he spoke pretty to made beautiful, pretty, like snowflake looking things. And then the ones that he spoke angry thoughts to were like scattered. And the ones that we played hard angry rock, which I love, especially when I'm angry, those were like scattered and just kind of ugly patterns, really nefarious looking. So, and then he also did an experiment with rice and water in a jar, and he spoke angry to one and spoke happy to the other, and the crystals, made similar patterns, but then he left one alone with just rice and water, and it didn't say anything to it at all, and that one actually started to rot, whereas the other ones didn't. So it's almost worse not to say anything to someone, like like they say that giving somebody the silent treatment, really not good for people. You know what I mean? Words are things, like Maya Angelou says. They stick to you. They stick. They stick with you. And so be careful what you say to people, and try to speak with love in every chance you get. Okay. So my number 2 reason why I believe we're living in a matrix, and that we're definitely more than we were led on to believe, is, have you ever heard the stories about like people who got an organ transplant and then became like, started to take on characteristics of the person whose organs they received? Like this one lady, she got a man's heart, and she never knew how to work with her hands before that, but he was a construction worker who loved to work with his hands. And ever since she got his heart, she started to have these like ideas and started to DIY and build things with her hands, and spoke to the family and found out that he was a carpenter and he loved to work with his hands. And she told them that, and they just broke down and cried. So your organs, even after they're out of your body, have a memory of you. You know what I mean? Like your energy is attached to that, and energy never dies. It just keeps going. You know what I mean? You can't kill energy, and they've proven that. So if we are energy, then where do we go after this? I'm not sure, but I know that there's much more than we were led on to believe, and I'm going to keep on going with this. So my number 3 reason why I believe we're living in a matrix is because of suppressed knowledge and forgotten knowledge. Like we can't replicate the pyramids to this day. With all the technology that we have, we can't build anything anywhere close to that. They didn't even use mortar or anything to stick the things together, and it's like mathematically perfect. And they also emit energy, electromagnetic fields that could power the earth for free. Nikola Tesla was onto something there. So and also there was a race of people called the Tartarians. They were very, very smart, civilized people. They're behind a lot of the designs that you see in like churches, really ornate, beautiful buildings. But they were like wiped out of the face of history because they knew so much, and they were conquered, allegedly. I've heard that stories that some of them fled and made it, and helped develop modern civilization as we know it. So, but they're not spoken of in school. You don't know about that, and we actually go back way farther than we ever thought. Like what I was taught in school is just bogus now. And then there was 9 planets when I was in school and all that. You know what I mean? We have barely scratched the surface on any of this stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I believe we're in the Matrix, is because a lot of the things we were taught are just his story. Like Infinite Water says, history is his story. It's written by the victorious ones, who are usually the most vile and cruel of them all, and they elaborate on things and leave out certain things. It's all, nobody really truly knows, but we do though. If you take time to go inside yourself and quiet your mind and listen to your intuition, and if you ask for answers, you'll get a lot more than you actually expect. No matter how far advanced you are, no matter how far or behind you are, just take time for yourself and to connect with your own self and your higher self and higher dimensional beings, your spirit team who's always around you. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. You'll find the answers that you're looking for. Okay. Now this one is pretty fascinating to me, and I can't find a link for this. And most of these don't really have links except for the water study, and I'm going to link something about another couple of them. But this one is I couldn't find anything on it, and it's a government blood study, or maybe it was military. That was what they did was they took people's blood and they put it in vials, and then they subjected them to certain videos in another room, and their blood actually reacted outside of their body with vibrations to what they were watching. Like say it was angry or sad or happy, their blood reacted different ways outside of their body. So they took them miles away and did the same thing, and same thing. Their blood reacted from miles away from what they were actually watching, still connected to them, their blood, their energy. So I can't find anything on that, but if anybody knows any information about that study, let me know in the comments below. I would love to find out what that was, because I know I've heard it many times and I can't find anything on it. How mysterious, right? Okay. And my fifth reason, I don't know if I did four, but I don't always do the hand signals. I forget. So, is the creation myth of the Anunnaki. They were serpent-like god creatures that basically, from what I understand, enslaved humankind to mine their gold. People thought of them as gods, but they were just higher dimensional beings, or beings from different galaxies or planets that had advanced technology. And so people didn't know how to take that, and they worshiped them, and they made a slave race of people to mine the gold from them, because they came here for that resource. And being that they were not from here, it was hard for them to function on this planet. So they wanted to make a subservient race of people who would actually do their bidding, So, and I think it's pretty fascinating that, the first man's name was Adam, and we are made of atoms. You know what I mean? Think about it. And also, the Son of God, our Heavenly Father, you know what I mean? The cosmos, that's what I now believe is God. I think that people have to have a name for things, I'm myself included. If you can label something, then you can understand it better, per se. So, Jesus energy and all those their energies, used in their, made into a human form for us to be able to fathom it, because our minds can't wrap around just the whole grand, vast consciousness that is us, and that is in all of us. We are all, in my belief, a representation of the universal consciousness, manifesting itself in a human form, or in a crystal form, or in a volcanic form, whatever. Anything on this earth and all of us are this manifestation of this huge universal conscious energy that nobody can really fathom. So we have to put a name to it, and if you believe in God and all that good stuff, then I hope I'm not offending anybody, but this is my belief, that God is the universe. God is and Mother Gaia. There's different forms of, deities, and there's so much more to it than big religion would want us to think. And I'm not knocking anybody if you believe, but I'm just saying, look around and open your eyes and think about things, and maybe you might come to a better understanding. I know I did. Okay. And let's see here. Number 6 is UFOs and extraterrestrials. Government classified documents have actually recently been declassified. Project Blue Book. If you watch like Ancient Aliens on the History Channel, it's fascinating to me. And I've actually seen UFOs myself, in groups. Both times actually was in groups. And well, I thought I saw them a few other times, but definitely 2 confirmed times. One time I was like walking down the street from school, and I was with 2 other friends, completely sober, and in middle school. And so we saw 3 disc-like things in the sky. They were black, and they were like in concert with each other. They were flying, same space in between each other, and they were flying in concert. And all of a sudden we were all like, oh, look at that. They look like hockey pucks. Well, all of a sudden, as we all looked up, they turned silver, like they flipped over, and the silver light was emitted from them, and then they just like disappeared into the atmosphere. I mean, it was insane, and that was pretty cool. And so, and then the other time was like we were all outside in the fire and at a bonfire in the backyard, and we saw like 3 stars, but they were bigger and brighter than the rest of them, and they were flying in concert with each other. You know what I mean? And then they flew along the horizon of the sky, and then disappeared into the atmosphere, just like the other UFOs I saw. And the fact that there are extraterrestrial life forms, and it's been a proven fact, we're not the only ones in this universe. We've been lied to all our lives about that as well. So if there are more advanced races of beings out there, who's to say that they're not pulling the strings somewhere behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And controlling us and laughing at us or watching us and observing us. Who knows what the reasons might be? I'm sure that they're not here to harm us because, they could have already demolished us by now with their advanced technology. So I think that they are interested in us for some reason. I don't know. Who knows? We could have been a science experiment gone bad or good. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not that far advanced. I just know that there's more to it than we've been led to believe it. And I hope that you guys open your minds, and I hope that I've helped you to expand your consciousness and your horizon. As I've learned from others, I would like to teach to you, and you guys help me grow, and vice versa. So, so I have 3 tips to avoid the trap of the matrix. And this is one of my favorites. Try to avoid technology unless you're like a super busy business person for the first hour of your day. You know what I mean? And I can't always do this, but for the most part, I don't get on Facebook or any kind of like social media until about an hour after I've been awake. I don't check my phone, check for messages or anything like that. I just try to start my day, with yoga and meditation and a healthy breakfast and some tea, and write before I forget. Because if I don't do it first thing, then I probably won't get around to it. So and that leads me into my other 2 tips is yoga and meditation. So we got avoid technology for the first hour of the day, and as much as possible, anytime you can, try to leave your phone in the other room. Don't charge it beside you at night. And then yoga and meditation. Like I said, yoga can be very intimidating, and it found me. I was never really a flexible person. I couldn't even touch my toes in high school. I avoided like sports and activities and whatnot. And there were a few brief times I got in shape, but I was never flexible until I found yoga, and it was a hard start. I couldn't even sit in lotus with my legs, flat to the ground at first. So give yourself a break and give yourself, some slack if you're not like, can't touch your toes or can't do these wild legs in air pretzel positions, because yoga is not as what people think it is. You can do yoga just from sitting position. You can do it in a chair. You can do it while you're laying down. There's different forms of it, to activate your kundalini, to relax you, for anxiety, for pain, for core strength. There's just so many different kinds of yoga. I advise you guys, please give it a try. You know what I mean? Find some yoga for beginners with modified poses and you jump right in, man. It's changed my life exponentially. Okay. And meditation is intimidating as well. But, I have ADHD and, I had ADHD. I think I'm pretty much over that label now. I realize I'm just more hypersensitive to the world than others are, and that's why I felt like there was something wrong with me all these years. But I have that kind of mind where I'm just like a squirrel. You know what I mean? I always joke that my spirit animals are like a squirrel and an owl, and maybe a wolf or something cool like that, like a jaguar. But definitely a squirrel and an owl, because I squirrel out. So, but what you can do is you can start with 5 minutes a day, even a few minutes. There's so many different kinds of meditation. Where you can. You're going to think of other thoughts. You're going to hear distracting noises, but just when you find that you're distracted, you just call yourself back to whatever it is your intention is, or listen to relaxing music, call your mind back, realize that your mind is drifting. Sometimes keep track of it if you want, or just, notice it and then clear your mind again and focus on your breath, and then just let your breath go back normally. Just look up meditations. There's so many different kinds. And I would implore you guys to try yoga and meditation and avoid technology as much as possible, because we are living in a simulated reality, I believe, and somebody's pulling the strings. And if it's not you, then who is it? Okay. So, I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for all your support, watching and liking and commenting on my videos. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, because I got plenty of videos coming out soon. I'm going to do some stuff for empaths as far as like protection and how to clear your energy. And I got some other stuff about the empath narcissist dynamic, some twin flame stuff, and plenty more. You guys, if you have any requests, and as far as anything metaphysical, spiritual, more about star seeds, light workers, empaths, mystics, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, there's a Facebook group called Soul Tribes and Good Vibes. It's open to the public, and I would love to see you guys there and join my tribe. So I hope you guys have a great day. Namaste. Sending so much love and light your way. Bye.